Hello everyone, welcome to your second royal reading today, 1st of November, here at MadWorldTarot. And we have a rather toxic little story to look at, which is why I have the Deviant Moon Tarot on the tarot table today. And this is a very nasty article by Jack Royston in Newsweek about Prince William's documentary on homelessness. And it's a two-parter. Some people are saying it's very moving, it's very emotional, they loved watching it. Other people have some very nasty things to say, including Jack Royston. Never mind that, the documentary's been picked up by Disney, which must have rankled somewhat in Montecito, because famously Meghan, who got the gig narrating that elephant documentary because Harry pimped her out basically at the Lion King premiere instead of going to a memorial service for Marines who'd been killed in the line of duty. Not his finest moment. Anyway, she did that, and of course it was terrible, it was a disaster, and Disney said afterwards that Meghan needed them more than they needed her. She never got any more work from them. So we're going to have a little look at this story. Jack Royston says that the documentary is an abject failure. Abject failure. Those are the words he uses. He then goes around collecting all the really nasty reviews of the documentary, people who've called it dismal television, people who've mocked Prince William for his hypocrisy, given his privilege and all his palaces and all of that stuff, and say that basically he's trying to compete with Prince Harry for, you know, who's the best boy, who would mummy think best of. That sort of nastiness is very nasty. We're going to have a look at this. I want to know the Parkle feelings about the documentary, Harry and Meghan. We're going to look at Jack Royston, what he really thinks about this, and who might be whispering in his ear and telling him to write this very nasty thing, the abject failure heading in Newsweek. And then we're going to ask about Disney's feelings about Prince William and his documentary, the Parkle feelings about the fact Disney took up this documentary, having dumped them, and how is the documentary going to do, and how is the actual program going to do. A lot of people say it's really very ambitious, maybe too ambitious. It's called Homeward. And how is it going to do? Okay, I think we've got the energy in these cards. This is my second time of doing this reading. Things went a bit haywire the first time round, and tired old brain couldn't recognize the card that I was reading. It's a very tired old brain at the moment. Won't be for much longer, but you have to bear with me for a few more weeks. And remind you, of course, that this is just tarot and it's for fun and entertainment, and it is all my opinion, it is all speculation. Just read energy here, and disclaimer in the box below. We have the moon. That's Mummy Diana. There she is. She's shown up as our underlying energy. She was, of course, the reason that Prince William got so involved in the homelessness cause and wanting to end homelessness, took Harry and William along with her, visiting the passage, and William has become very involved since, all because of her. It's not the sinister moon energy that we sometimes talk about here, the projection and all of that. It's literally, have a look at this though, how this moon is depicted in the Deviant Moon Tarot. Not sure if I've shown you that that's the tarot that I'm using. Can't remember. I did the first time I tried this reading. But anyway, if I haven't and you're wondering what these weird cards are, it's the Deviant Moon. The moon is literally making these two little puppets dance, and that would be Harry and William. Interesting. Very interesting psychological insight there. All in one little card as our underlying energy. Let's look at the actual situation we're dealing with today. The High Priestess. It's a very powerful female energy that is here. The two most mysterious cards in the tarot, the High Priestess and the Moon. Mummy Diana over here, the High Priestess over there. It's your intuition. It's following your gut. and answering to that sort of calling and being connected to the spirit world. We know who claims to be connected to the spirit of Mummy Diana, she in Montecito. And so that's coming through, interestingly. This is quite a spooky Halloween reading. We're still in that energy, 1st of November here as I'm doing this reading. But it is about spells. It's about conjuring and calling and summoning even. That energy a little bit. Just saying, I'm using strong language. I normally try not to describe it in such strong terminology, but it's coming through so strongly today, and I think it's because we are in Halloween season that I feel compelled to use those words. And it's of course my opinion and my speculation and just my observation of the energy, my interpretation of the energy. But I'm getting a very powerful energy coming from Montecito. Very powerful. So let's look at it. How do the two of them feel about this documentary and what Prince William is doing? Harry, first of all, Harry talking to NATO, Mr. Important. And there's the Two of Swords, and the Two of Swords is in reverse. The conflict that's inherent in the Two of Swords, the shadow, fighting with yourself, really fighting with your dark side. The Deviant Moon, very good at these kinds of psychological insights in the card. It's choice time, it's decision time in the Two of Swords. Difficult decisions, crossroads. What are you going to do? How are you going to face what you have to face in your life? And he's really at odds with himself. I wouldn't normally say that about the Two of Swords, but I can see it here. He really is at odds with his brother. He's far too invested in what his brother represents, and he's far too divided in his own mind about what he represents and what his brother represents. The light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the negative and the positive and all of that. Really, he's finding it very hard to accept that Prince William is doing his mother's bidding here, his mother's work, carrying on her legacy. Harry, of course, has pranced up and down in that cleared landmine field in Angola, trying to imitate Mummy, but that field's long cleared. They actually had to go back, as far as I know, and stick up signs and pretend that it was, all still terribly dangerous. He had to remind us all of Mummy Diana and the Halo Trust, but it's not actual work. This is work that Prince William is doing, and Harry really can't. He's wrestling with his brother in this. It's such toxic energy. How about herself? And how does she feel about this documentary and what he's doing? The King of Cups, there is Prince William. And it's interesting because we see the looks that she gives him when they're out and about together. Someone has collected some little interesting clips of them when they did that walkabout after the Queen passed away, and the Parkles were bundled into a car and sobered up, lots of black coffee, and then, in my opinion, and then they had to go and hang around outside the gates of Windsor Castle and pretend to engage with William and Catherine. And interesting body language of how she scuttled along behind Prince William, dragging Harry along with her. She loves him. Is all I can say. Is all I can say. Loves and hates. He loves, he hates. Wrestling with him. My opinion, tarot reader, reading energy, of course, speculating wildly. And let's turn on the flashing allegedly light while we're at it. Meghan really just thinks he's the best thing ever. The hate comes in all the adjacent Twitter accounts and things like that. It spews out. But it gives me that sort of very infantile energy of young girls when they're madly in love with some boy and then pretend they really hate him. That's the energy that I'm getting. Very immature energy. It's very poisonous energy. Very toxic. Look at her over there in our cards. The Deviant Moon doing its work and doing it well. Let's move on to Jack Royston. What's up with him? What does he really think of Prince William in this documentary? In his own mind, his own truth about it. Does he really hate Prince William and think this was an abject failure? Ooh, I've got the 10 of Cups in reverse. Does not like. Does not want him to succeed, wants him to be unhappy. I don't know what there is between Jack Royston and Prince William. Why Jack Royston, allegedly, flashing light, would feel so hostile towards Prince William and hope that he fails and hopes he's internally unhappy and that this homelessness thing doesn't succeed at all. The 10 of Cups is happy, happy, happy ever after, and usually little family looking happily at their home with a rainbow over it or whatever. And doesn't want this at all. So it doesn't look like he needs much encouragement from Montecito to write articles like this abject failure one. But let's see if he's getting encouragement from Montecito according to the energy of these cards. Allegedly, flash, flash. What is going on? Does he get help from there? And we've got the 6 of Wands in reverse. That's the success card, upright in reverse, a failure. Wanted to fail, wants it to fail. Resentful energy, the 6 of Wands. It's jealous energy, it's begrudging energy. Can't deal with someone else's success, just can't handle it. Too terrible. Someone else is succeeding, you want to drag them down. Very nasty energy, that 6 of Wands in reverse. I think we know exactly what's going on there. So let's move on. Let's move on to Disney. Let's see how Disney feels about Prince William and what he's doing. Let's see, maybe they think he's terrible too. Oh no, they love him. They love him. They love the story, Ace of Cups. Can't get enough of it. It's just what they want to see. It's uplifting, it's heartening, it's emotional, it's going to grab people and move them. It's very Disney. How do the two in Montecito feel about the fact that they got kicked off Disney because Meghan's voice work was so bad? The elephant, my opinion, but you know, they need Disney more than Disney needs them, quote unquote. How do the Parkles feel about the fact that Prince William is now being streamed on Disney as they are clinging on desperately to their Netflix deal? Neil Sean has things to say about that. Oh, 9 of Swords. It's a nightmare. Can't sleep. I'm getting real Lady Macbeth energy there about, you know, the spot on the out damn spot. Can't even cope with this. Can't cope. Pacing. Stewing. Doing things. Spellish kind of things. That's just the energy that's coming through. I'm not accusing her of doing those kinds of things, but it's the energy that's coming through. And energy in itself is all it takes, really. You don't have to chant things and, you know, dance around the cauldron. The energy is enough, and the energy in that High Priestess is off the charts toxic. Me as an energy reader expressing my opinion. I'm snarking my way through this reading, and the reason I'm snarking my way through this reading is because the energy is so bad. Just saying. How's the documentary going to do? Is it going to be an abject failure, or are there going to be a few people at least out there that think it's lovely? And can we see more? We've got the 6 of Pentacles. It is going to do well. It's very balanced, very measured. It's the equal card. It's charity. But it's charity in its best form because it's giving and taking. It's reciprocal. It's not just shelling out to someone for nothing. It's helping people onto their feet. 6 of Pentacles. In its true sense. So it's going to be seen as being measured, as reflecting all sides, as it's going to do well for Disney. If they've put money into this to get the rights to it, then they're going to get their return. It's going to make them happy. They're going to feel that whatever they've put into it, they've got back at some level. They've got back at least in terms of goodwill, because that Ace of Cups is an extremely powerful card energetically. It's really countering some of the nastiness that's sitting over there and sitting here. Oh my goodness. How's the Homewood project itself going to do for Prince William? Big risk, big commitment. He's made big claims. Is it going to go well, or is it not going to go well for him? What's going to happen? Got the Page of Pentacles. It's beginning. He's learning. It's a student. He's learning. And this is his apprenticeship in terms of doing good in the world. He's got Earthshot going. I think Earthshot's quite easy because other people are doing the actual work, and all he's got to do is compile the best projects and, you know, make a big show and hand over money, and it's quite easy to do really if you've got those kinds of contacts. This is different. This, he's actually hands-on. He's having to learn the ropes. He's having to try hard. He's having to find deals. He's having to negotiate and network with people and do stuff, practical stuff. You can see there with the spanner, and it's all, you know, it's all happening. It's learning, it's building, it's doing, it's beginning. It's not telling me it's going to be a rip-roaring success. It's not telling me it's going to be an abject failure. It's telling me that he's learning on the job and he's got a way to go. Baby steps. We're at baby steps here with the Page of Pentacles. Not a bad thing. And if he stays humble, and if he stays ready to learn and to listen and to take criticism on board and to deal with it in the right way, he will do well by his mother and by the people he is trying to help. He's off to a good start. Let's put it that way. He's off to a very good start. And back in Montecito, as far as I can tell, the energy of these cards and what I'm seeing, back in Montecito really can't cope with it. That's the reading. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again tomorrow.